Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. I am trying to figure out real quick if everything went live to Facebook and to TikTok. So, if anybody's following me on TikTok, could you check it there just to see if it went? I want to make sure that this gets spread everywhere. And this is one of those cases, you guys. I truly believe that Madalena is out there somewhere and that she can be found. That is my opinion. I really am hoping and praying that Diana did not unalive her, and I hope and pray that she put her somewhere. And so this is one of those stories that needs to be absolutely everywhere. This is a case that we have been covering since she went missing, and we have done several videos about this. I do have the new warrants that were released, and we are going to take a look at that. New as in newly released, not newly made, unfortunately. So let me pull up this flyer of her real quick while I am checking everything. How is everybody doing this evening? So this is Madalena. For those of you guys who do not know what she looks like or have never heard of this story, Madalina Cojocari has been missing from Cornelius, North Carolina. She was last technically seen on November the 21st, 2022. At the time that this flyer was made, she would have been 13. She was 11 at the time of her disappearance. She was last seen getting off of her school bus outside of her home in Cornelius, North Carolina on November the 21st, 2022, and has not been seen or heard from since. A lot of difficult, disturbing things happened along the time frame that she went missing. Her school inevitably showed up to her house. The truancy officers showed up because she had not been attending school and they could not get a hold of her parents, things like that. And then, of course, her mom eventually went into the school and did notify them that she was missing. That was December 15th, whenever she was officially reported missing. They were taken to jail for not reporting a missing child, her mom and her stepdad. And unfortunately, both of them are walking free at this point. Her mom did actually leave the country and is believed to be back in Moldova, where they had initially came from. So they had last reported seeing her, though, on November the 23rd, which is 2 days after she was last seen on that school bus. And she was last seen allegedly wearing jeans, pink, purple, and white Adidas shoes, a white t shirt, and a jacket. So, what I want you guys to do is, if you are familiar with this case, put a one in the chat. If you are not as familiar with this case and you need me to go through more information and more details than just this missing flyer, please put a, I don't know, what's your favorite number? Let's do a four. Put a four in the chat if you need more detailed information. Bushes, you can't hear me? Mute, mom. Oh no. No, I'm definitely talking. Okay, we're good. Hi, Seal. Hi, Bushes. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Ocean Tide. Hi, B Tim. Good to see you. Hi, AP. Chicken Lady. How you doing? Hi, Annie Lou. Hello, hello. Hi, Lioness. Hi, Daycare Mama. Good to see you. Okay, so 11111. Hi, Jay. Hello, hello. So, a lot of articles started coming out over the past week or so about Madalena. One of the things, though, while I was looking into the details that are being released, these search warrants that I noticed was in one of the Facebook groups. They have been keeping an eye on Diana's Facebook pages. And one of the things that she posted right around New Year's Eve was a photograph of Madalena. It was an older photo that she had shared before in the past. And that photograph had the caption, let me pull this up for you guys, had the caption that says, "Happy birthday to Madalena, compassion entangled on earth." This was posted on New Year's Eve of this year. I find this extremely strange because Madalena's birthday is actually in April. It's April 11th. And so I'm not entirely sure what this message meant. I'm not entirely sure what her mom was thinking, if she was just trying to mess with with the internet sleuths and the people who have been caring and following this case, the locals that are in the area, I've read that a lot of them have been blocked at this point. A lot of them have been contacting her, people surrounding her, and things like that because they all care. They all want to know what happened to Madalina. I'm not entirely sure why she posted this message, being that it wasn't her birthday. A lot of people are reading a lot of things into this, though. I don't know what it means, other than I find it very strange that it's actually 4 months before her birthday. Unless she's meaning like a new year, new day. I'm not sure. Hi, Shadow. How are you? Hi, Red Rock. Hello, hello. You're in North Carolina. Yeah, it's a big case here. Absolutely. Okay, you can hear me. Good, good, good. So, with these search warrants that came out, pull this up. So this is one of the news articles that came out recently. They do feature the video in which Madalina was last seen getting off the school bus. So I am going to play this video real quick for you guys so that you can see her walking off of this school bus as we did months and months ago, years ago actually now, whenever she first went missing. Just ever so casually walking off the school bus a day before Thanksgiving break and never to be seen again.
Team has obtained Unsealed Cojocari case, and it's revealing some new details in this investigation to find the missing Cornelius girl. After getting our hands on these unsealed warrants, WCNC Charlotte's Julia Kaufman went to the Cornelius Police Department for answers.
It's been over 2 years since Madalina Cojocari was officially reported missing, and the Cornelius Police Department is still searching for her, still hanging this sign outside the agency. I spoke with the deputy chief just hours ago. She tells me this case will not go cold, and as for leads, nothing is off the table.
One thing I will say is this police department has been all over this since the very beginning. The difficult thing in these situations, whenever you have a case like this, and you have what seems like enough evidence to prosecute someone, what seems like enough evidence to form an opinion about what happened, whenever it comes down to it, the prosecution themselves won't take the case to court. They won't go for the actual charges against the parents or against whoever it is that's involved because they don't feel like they have enough to convict. And so I think that that's what's happening in this situation. They don't feel like they have enough solid evidence to be able to convict them on the crimes that may have been committed in this situation, but they also don't know the exact location of Madalina. And so that is also leading to difficulties. Hi, Red Rock. How are you? Hi, Cooter G. Good to see you guys.
We believe Madalina is alive.
Cornelius Police Deputy Chief Jennifer Thompson says the department doesn't have much to go off of right now to find Madalina, but they work the case daily.
Someone is still out there that has the bit of information as to what happened to her and to where she is. I think Diana possibly has that information.
Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, is a suspect, but she's now in her home country of Moldova after serving time for failing to report Madalina missing.
We would have liked for her to have stayed here and helped us find her daughter.
Warrants recently unsealed revealed Diana messaged her cousin on December 2nd, 2022, saying she needed to speak with him urgently. She signed the message from herself and Madalina. But Diana told police she last saw Madalina on November 23rd.
This mother never reported her missing. I know it's been said that she waited 3 weeks. It was a school system and the SRO that reported her missing, not her mother.
To me, this whole case feels as if mom hid her away somewhere. Whether it was sending her with Octavia, her uncle, or if it was a situation where, you know, a tr- I hate to say the T word, but some of the warrants do point to the possibility of sexual exploitation of Madalina. Um, and so it's still up in the air to me, but I also still don't feel like that she unalived her. And that's just my personal feelings in this situation. The fact that she's not helping, though, whatever she did with her, she either knows exactly where she is, and so she is confident and comfortable with whatever happened to her daughter, or she has something to hide. Whether that is a situation where she did unalive her and she's hiding evidence, or it's a situation where whoever she is with is not a good situation.
Last week, WCNC Charlotte uncovered that detectives, at least at the beginning of the investigation, believed this was a sexual exploitation case.
We have not taken anything off of the table.
Plus, warrants show several items were burned in a fire pit at the home, including Madalina's clothes and the spare bedroom carpet. Days later, detectives swabbed several areas of the home, including stained bedroom carpets.
We did submit various items to the crime lab, for forensic evidence, but I can't go into detail about what those reports showed.
Thompson is urging anyone that has spoken to Diana or Madalina Cojocari over the last several years to please contact the department with any details you may have. You may think it's minor, but Thompson says it could be something that helps the case. In Cornelius, Julia Kaufman, WCNC Charlotte.
Didn't realize I was muted. As far as the documents themselves go, so let's take a look at these. Thank you so much, Seal, for grabbing these documents for me. I do always appreciate you and how awesome you are for the sleuth team getting this information. So there is 6 different warrants here that we're going to go down through. Probable cause for the warrants, I guess I should say. And this is the application sheet. And then we're going to turn this so that we're not reading it sideways. So this is the first document that we're going to go down through. And this one is for the ability to seize different items that were at the home. And it says the facts and circumstances outlined in this affidavit suggest the following items of evidentiary value should be seized as it relates to Madalina for the dates of November 1st through December the 16th. It says detailed subscriber records information to include but not limited to names, addresses, telephone numbers, email addresses, activation and deactivation dates, and dates of service and types of services utilized. The detailed information on the purchase or payment to include but not limited to the purchaser, credit card number or other means of payments, and the location of the purpose. Device and network identifiers to include, but not limited to, the electric serial number or ESN, basically all of the cell phone data. I'm not going to read through all of those different things. But so then information pertaining to other devices, the home location register, the historical call detail records, electronic copies of text messages, content related to the targeted phone number, and content of any and all detail stored voicemails related to the target phone number. So essentially, they are looking for all cell phone data or device data from November the 1st until December the 16th. So 20 days before she was last seen, and then up to when she was actually reported missing the day after. If not harmed, why leave no trace? You just pray she is safe. With the international aspect of this case, we may never know what happened to this precious child of God. Yes. And so that is definitely a concern for me, because some of the text messages that we're going to read through and some of the information indicate that she was trying to flee the country with Madalina up to a month before Madalina actually went missing, or she was trying to seek a way out of the country with her. For what purpose? What is the reasoning behind why she wanted to leave the country, or did she have this as a pre-planned, premeditated event that was going to happen in Madalina's life that led to her doing everything she could to try to cover up her tracks, for when she planned the event to take place? Did she plan for the evening of November 21st into November 22nd to do something nefarious to Madalina? And so she was leaving all of these breadcrumbs as she went, leading up to and then after the days of the event that took place. That's the main question. If something nefarious happened, you know, how calculating and how pre-planned was it, right? So it says attachment places to be searched. The places to be searched are the records maintained by T-Mobile for the targeted phone number. If the records for this targeted number is maintained by cellular telephone service provider, then it's listed above. So they want to include all of the things. And again, a different direction. Would you like to read it upside down, sideways? What are we doing here? Here we go. So it says in the matter of the telephone number. So this is the detective identifying himself and the information. And when he first arrived on the scene at the school. It says on Thursday, December 15th, 2022, at approximately 1:12, officer responded to Bailey Middle School located at 11900 Bailey Road in Cornelius. The complainant, Diana, who resides at 18413 Victoria Bay Drive in Cornelius, reported that her juvenile daughter, Madalina Cojocari, has been missing since approximately 10 p.m. on Wednesday, November 23rd. Now, remember, she was last seen getting off the bus on the 21st. We have good reason to believe that Chris did not see her, which is her stepdad, did not see her any time between the 21st and the 23rd. And so it's very possible that whatever Diana did with Madalina took place between the dates of the 21st and the 23rd. Keep that in mind as we read down through these things. So on Monday, December the 12th at approximately 1400 hours, Bailey Middle School Resource Officer Jay Nobles attempted a home visit with sixth grade school counselor Mrs. D. Lampkin in reference to Madalina Cojocari. Mrs. Lampkin stated Madalina has not been at school since Monday, November 21st, and there was no answer at the door. A truancy packet was left by Mrs. Lampkin. On Wednesday, December 14th, Mrs. Lampkin advised Madalina's mother, Diana, called her requesting a meeting in reference to Madalina. Mrs. Lampkin advised Diana and stated that she would bring Madalina to school on Thursday and meet with Mrs. Lampkin in reference to the truancy. On Thursday, December the 15th, Diana arrived at the school without Madalina and met with Mrs. Lampkin. Mrs. Lampkin requested Officer Nobles and stepped into the meeting. When Officer Nobles arrived, Mrs. Lampkin and Diana advised me that Madalina has been missing since Wednesday, November 23rd at approximately 10 p.m. So it makes you wonder what exactly was her plan whenever she got to the school that day. Certainly, she sat there and told her, oh, yeah, I'll bring her to the school, no problem. And then she turned around and showed up without her. This is another one saying about them arriving. Okay. So Officer Nobles spoke to Diana Cojocari, who advised that she last saw Madalina on Wednesday, November the 23rd. She stated that Madalina went into her room that night to go to bed. Diana stated that her and her husband, Christopher, argued that night, and the next morning he drove to his family's house in Michigan to recover some items. Diana stated that she went to check on Madalina around 11:30 on the 24th and noticed that Madalina was not in her room. Diana stated that she waited until Saturday, November the 26th at 7 p.m. when Christopher returned home before asking if he knew where Madalina was. Christopher stated that he did not and asked the same question in return. Detective Patterson asked Diana why she did not report Madalina missing until now, and she was worried that it might start a conflict between her and Christopher. Officer Nobles requested that she contact Christopher and have him come to the school. Officer Nobles then contacted Detective G. Patterson, Detective B. Nichols for assistance. Detective Patterson questioned Miss Diana Cojocari regarding her missing daughter. She explained that she believed her husband put her family in danger, but did not know what happened to Madalina. She stated that she contacted her family in Moldova and advised that she contacted police and still hesitated to call. Diana stated that Madalina did not have a phone. Madalina's backpack and some clothes were missing from the residence. She stated that Madalina did not have any friends that she would stay with and that they have no family around due to Diana being from Moldova. Detective Nichols and Detective Patterson went to their residence to search for Madalina's room. Miss Cojocari and Chris were adamant that they did not know where Madalina could be. While in the residence, Detective Patterson noticed an area blocked with plywood off of the kitchen. Detective Nichols asked about the same area, and Mr. Palmer said that they had planned to make a separate apartment. So Detective Nichols and Patterson, Sergeant Starver, and Macon returned to the home on 12:15 at around 7 p.m. with a search warrant to search the house for any potential evidence associated with Madalina's disappearance. During the course of the search, detective seized two cell phones from Diana and Chris, and they issued cell phone numbers. Based on this applicant's training and experience, persons whom commit crimes often change phone numbers that they use to communicate following their crimes. However, these individuals often continue to communicate with the associates through alternative means, including newly established cellular telephone numbers. So this is why they applied for the search warrant of the phones and anything connected to the phones. Hi Taylor. So the 23rd was Thanksgiving. Did they not have a Thanksgiving meal? No. And so there is so much more to this that goes outside of this affidavit. Um, Let me finish this couple of pages and see if they address it. But if they don't, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Chris and his side of things. Because a lot of us side eye Chris through this and wonder, why did he never report her missing? Why did um why did he not step up if he thought that Diana had done something? Why did he never speak up? And some of the things that we have found out through their divorce documents and through other parts of reading about their relationship and things that have gone on, even though they had been married for years, they were never sexually intimate, according to some of the sources that I have read. And so he was Madalina's quote unquote stepdad, and they were married, but they were never really in a loving type of relationship. He essentially had spent most of his time just doing her bidding and pining after her, essentially, even though things just weren't there. Yeah, clothes missing makes me think she packed her bag, but then why burn things? I'm so mixed up on this one. I do. I think she was trying to get rid of any trace of Madalina. I also think that. And there were some weird religious things also happening with Diana throughout this time frame as well. Again, we will get more into that through these documents, I believe, as well as through some of the other stuff that I want to show you guys. But I promise questions will be answered by the end. So this one says, this is just saying that they're trying to get the search warrant associated with Madalina. And it says that this applicant requests that the proposed order direct the provider and all other communication providers, persons, or entities who are obligated by the proposed order to provide assistance to the investigative agency not to disclose any manner, directly or indirectly, by action or inaction to the subscribers or any other person. The existence of the proposed search warrant in full or redacted form, the existence of or the existence of this investigation, unless otherwise ordered by this court, and the identity of the unidentified persons using the phones. Um, and so also says about if they tamper with evidence and things like that. Some of this is just, legal jargon and isn't necessarily necessary for us anyways. And that's the same thing. And so then this is saying that the search warrant was issued by the judge. So that's the first document. Boring. Get out of here, Ringo. The time frame between mom taking action and doing things is what blows my mind. Who Wayne stays to report this? And that's why I think that Diana is the one who is more so responsible for things. Um, Again, just based off of things that I have seen and read through this case. So it says the affiant, having been duly sworn, now disposes on Thursday, December 15th, that Diana Cojocari reported her 11-year-old juvenile daughter, Madalina Cojocari, and she has been missing since Wednesday, November 23rd. Detectives discovered that on Monday, December 12th, at approximately 1400 hours, Bailey Middle School resource officer Jay Nobles attempted a home visit with a school counselor, Mrs. D. Lampkin, in reference to Madalina. There was no answer at the door. She left a truancy packet. On December 15th, she showed up. She did not have Madalina, and she reported her missing, saying that she was gone since November the 23rd, when she sent Madalina that night to go to bed. She said that they argued, and the next morning he drove to his family's house in Michigan to recover some items. So he was interviewed by detectives on December 15th. And when he stated that he had not seen her since Wednesday, the 23rd, he had left his residence to make a trip to go to Michigan to pick up items. He did not see Madalina on the day he left and believed that the last time he saw her was 1 week before his trip. And so that's where it starts saying, I see what you're saying, Ringo. Apology accepted. But so that's where I started getting red flags because his relationship was so cut off from Madalina and Diana in a way that he literally had not seen somebody that lives in his house for a week prior to her going missing. Meanwhile, she had just been at school on the 21st. And so, how much contact did he really have with Diana and Madalina? So it says Christopher stated he returned to his residence on November the 26th and asked his wife, Diana, where Madalina was, and she did not know. If she had sent her to her family, why not say so? Because I don't think she sent her to her family. Um, I do not think that. mm, that's kind of where the sexual exploitation and things like that come into it, Red Rock. Um, she had been caught on a phone call while she was in prison telling her mom that she believed that Chris had sold her into a trafficking type situation. But I think that the opposite could be true. Either that she could have sold her into a situation like that, or she could have been, fearful for her life and others' lives. There's a lot of behind the scenes speculation that there was like crimes going on, drug trafficking type stuff and things like that, where she could have got herself into a sticky situation and then tried to hide Madalina. Again, this is all my speculation and my opinions based off of things that I have read. That it's a possibility that that could have happened. Whatever happened to Madalina, though, wherever she is, it was worth her sitting behind jail for a year not to speak up. And I think that Christopher genuinely did not know because he also did not speak up for the entire time that he was in prison. And I don't think that it was because he didn't want to. I just think that he did not have the knowledge that revealed where exactly where she was, if that makes sense. So it says that he stated that when he returned, he told her that he did not know where Madalina was. He then stated that he asked Diana if she had hidden Madalina, but he could not get a straight answer. He stated that he had spoken to Diana several times about Madalina's whereabouts over the next 3 weeks, and both stated that they did not know where she was located. Diana was no stranger to playing games with Christopher, from what I have read. Um, she would do things deliberately to hide information from him and then upset him. Or for example, one of the things that I have read is that on the week that Madalina actually went missing, that she had broken a mug and then sent him to the store to buy a new mug and then sent him back to the store again to buy a replacement or to take the mug back that he had just went to buy for her to replace the mug that she threw and broke during the argument. And so their relationship was very strange, and he was very, very much like a whipped puppy dog who kind of just did everything that she told him to, from what I can tell. And that's the best way that I can say it. Um, so and yeah, so some of the details that we have that are not right here in this document. Hi, grateful middle-aged cat mama, how are you? If she did something, she's going to deny it to her mom. I agree. I agree. She's not going to tell her mom the truth. And so the timeline that one of the Facebook groups has put together says that on the 20th, Diana broke her snowflake mug arrangement and dishes, throwing a temper tantrum. Um, Octavian, her relative, was on his way to New Mexico by truck, and that Diana posted a picture on 12/9 on her Russian social media pages, which was a picture of her and Maddie in front of a gate to a restaurant in Santa Fe, New Mexico. On November the 21st, Madalina was the last day. That was the last day she went to school and got off the bus and ran home around 5 p.m. Chris worked until around 6 p.m. that day and entered into Walmart after work at around 7 p.m. They have his GPS data there. He got a new mug and two shirts and then got home between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Um, it says, let's see here. On 11/22, Madalena missed school. That was actually the day before the Thanksgiving break was supposed to start, and she also didn't log into their school portal. Chris worked that day also until around 6 p.m., and then he had to go back to Walmart after work to return the mug that he had bought the day before. So for whatever reason, Diana kept sending him out of the house and trying to keep him out of the house during this time frame that Madalena was last seen, quote unquote. So on the 23rd, he took a day off of work. He went to Lowe's. He got water filters. He was meant to stay home that day, but Diana sent him to Michigan around noon. He left Cornelius, and he arrived in Michigan sometime between midnight and 1 a.m. That may be when Diana started burning Madalena's things after she had sent Chris to Michigan. And then Thanksgiving was the 24th. Chris was in Michigan for that. On Friday the 25th, Chris was also in Michigan. And then on Saturday the 26th, he came back from Michigan around 7 to 8 p.m. But Diana immediately sent him to the store to go get cat food. Whenever he got home, she did allege that Madalena was sick and that she wasn't there, or that she was in her bedroom sleeping. So, I mean, there was a lot of her sending him away and things like that to keep him out of the house, allegedly. So the other thing was, through this time period, the internet inside of their house, for whatever reason, was not working. And so instead of working from home like he normally would, he had to go to work at his office. And again, there is allegedly the school counselor had texted Chris trying to reach him, and he said that he would talk to Diana whenever he got home. That was on December the 1st. So this is all alleged from the Facebook group, from things that they have put together. On the 2nd is when Diana allegedly told Chris that her green card and her ID was missing and asked him if he took them. And then that is the day that she left to the mountains and texted Octavian saying that Madalena was with her and trying to ask Octavian about smuggling them out of the country, allegedly. On Saturday the 23rd, he took pictures of the internet modem still not working. Diana was in the mountains, had her oils changed, and toys were seen in the car, but Madalina was not there. Um, and then, so basically, like, this is all stuff that they have pulled from the affidavits that we're reading down through. But just to show you guys that the timeline surrounding this part is very strange. She just kept sending him out of the house over and over and over again for different miscellaneous things that really w- like she broke a mug and then sent him to go get a new mug and then sent him to return the mug. Like, what's the purpose of that? I don't know. Okay, so let me go down here. It's all cell phone stuff again. This might be a repeat. Sometimes they duplicate the documents. Okay, here we go. So this is the picture of the house from Google for the property to be searched or seized. Yeah, she does. She likes playing games. It's pretty sad whenever it involves your kids. I agree. What happened to Octavia? I don't know. It is so many scenarios going through my mind right now, and I do not like where this is going. I agree. I agree. I mean, there's no logical reason why you would agree to sit in jail for a year rather than say where your kid is if wherever your child is, they're safe, right? There's no logical explanation to those things. And so, regardless of where Madalina is, I do think that Madalina needs to be found very rapidly in order for her to be safe, secured, and taken out of whatever situation that her mom may have put her in allegedly. You thought that they would have left it unredacted since it was unsealed. No, they still would keep some stuff sealed, unfortunately. So it says the following materials which constitute evidence in the commission of a crime offense, contraband, fruits of the crime, and property designated or intended use for which has been used in the means of committing an offense. Namely, the violation of North Carolina General Statute, failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement, any evidence or indicated uh, what is that? Indicia related to any physical evidence, documents, or electronic devices pertaining to planning, execution, and or assistance with the crime, any papers, tickets, notes, schedules, receipts, or other items relating to domestic and foreign travel and or purchase, rental, lease of automobiles, samples of blood, bodily fluids located by the physical search or through the use of luminol, blue star, this big word, and other chemical test. Any evidence related to biological evidence, which is included but not limited to hair samples, blood samples, saliva swabs, blood stains. Any evidence related to fired or unfired bullets, casing, projectiles, ammunition, firearms, fragments, knives, or items believed to be weapons, or any evidence related to clothing, shoes, clothing fibers, latent evidence, and trace evidence. Basically, a summary of everything that they are allowed to seize if they find it within this home. I agree, Bushes. They should not have let her out until she told, and she immediately left the country. She wasted no time leaving the country. The good news is the Facebook groups do have very good, um, a very good, strong Moldova presence in them as well. That country is also looking for Madalina. They want just as many answers as we do as to what happened to Madalina and where she is. Sorry, have to get a drink. I'm like not prepared for reading. I've been so MIA that My voice is not ready for this. Okay, it says during my time with the Cornelius Police Department, I have been assigned to the Patrol Division, worked in traffic enforcement, community resources, and since 2016 have worked in the Criminal Investigations Division. I have participated in the investigation, apprehension, and prosecution of subjects involved with offenses related to substance abuse, property crimes, crimes against persons, weapons, and conspiracy. I have developed expertise in the daily operations of subjects involved with these types of criminal activities through personal observations and interactions, which include interviews and arrest of suspects who have committed or attempted to commit those crimes. I have worked with other investigators and experts whom I have discussed the various elements of and common methods used to commit aforementioned crimes, and I have continuation of page conducted numerous searches for evidence on persons, premises, vehicles, telephones, and common areas used by suspects in an attempt to conceal evidence. So this guy has experience. And so it repeats down through the probable cause as to why they were able to go to this home and search for things, which is all of the same information that we read before. It talks about the area that was blocked off with plywood in the kitchen, which let me show you guys a picture of that area. I do have that photo that they keep referring to. And from what I understand, the reason that this was blocked off was because Chris did, let me see. Let me see here. So Chris does engraving and allegedly, and one of the things that he did was blocking this off because I guess it was very noisy whenever he would be working on his different things. And so the garage is on the other side of this blocked off wall. So he was essentially making a separate area that would not be heard throughout the home, not in the kitchen and things like that, so that he could work in there doing his engraving and things like that. But then also so that customers that may be coming in don't have to come into their main living space in order to come into his business location. And so essentially they were separating it so that it could be a separate living area slash work area for Chris. And again, their relationship was not some big lovey-dovey love fest. And so it would not surprise me one bit if he ended up living in that separate part of the home as well. Because I'm not kidding, guys. Based off of things that I have read, she has really kept him on a shortened leash as far as what he was able to do in their relationship throughout the entire time frame. So you wonder if she would have, if she would, yeah, if she would have been able, I, if she would have traveled. I agree. You wonder if they would have kept her password, would she have been able to travel? You mean the police? I think that part of the reason also that she didn't just leave with Madalena was because she allegedly could not find her green card and her passport. And so, yeah, yep, they did. They let her out after 1 year. I don't know if Moldova is a country that extradites. Let me look at that real quick. No, there is no bilateral extradition or mutual legal assistance treaty between Moldova and the United States. So it says the Moldovan constitution does not permit extradition of its nationals. So even if they decide that she is guilty of this crime, even then they can't they can't get her. She's gone. Like That's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Yes, they are divorcing her, and that's where I get some of the information, about the details of their relationship is in the different divorce documents, which are out there. And maybe we can do a separate live stream talking about that at some point. Okay, so it says that a search warrant was executed on December 15th, in which the residence described herein was searched and items seized. Chris and Diana were arrested on December 17th and charged with failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. The affiant praised the search warrant to be issued to authorize a search of the residence to locate this item or any other item that may remain in the residence and may bear evidence of the crime listed on the items to be seized, as described in this application. Yeah, she disappeared her daughter away and got away with it. Right, they can't bring her back to this country unless they get her to a country that will extradite her. That's so infuriating. Okay. What? Gotta go the right way. That one looks like it's just more. I think they might have just repeating of the same things. Okay. So that is pretty much those there. Let me see. I feel like, Seal, that there is going to be more. Um, Give me 1 second here to check. I do not think that that is all of it. Okay. 1 second here. Let me pull this up. So one of the things that has happened also, since all of this has taken place, is that one of Madalina's friend's grandmothers has also come out and said that Diana was like trying to charge her to have her daughter come over and play. And I think we may have talked about that in a separate live stream in the past. Hold on, this is like not coming up right. Yeah, where's that at? Which page is that on? I'm like trying to find that right now. And I feel like I opened up all 6 of them, and I know I read that. So now I'm trying to find which page it was on. I might have skipped over it. Did I skip it? Thinking that it was just more of the same stuff? Skimming again just to make sure. Yeah. So some of the different news articles say that, but I don't see that in this warrant. That's what I'm looking for. Yes. Diana was very out there religiously. She had some very strange things going on. During his testimony, didn't he say that Diana was following a different religious way? Yes. Yes, he did. And we had watched that. Is it possible the country she lives in could start their own investigation about her daughter's disappearance? See, I don't know how that works since she wasn't living there at the time of the disappearance. So it says the warrants obtained by WCNC Charlotte also revealed that in the days after Madalina Cojocari was last seen, her mattress, her clothing, a Halloween costume, and family photos were burned in a fire pit outside of the home. The warrants say that a carpet from the home's upstairs spare bedroom was also burned. Madalina's stepfather, Christopher, said during his trial in May of last year that Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, was burning things more often during that time. I would go up to the fire pit and I saw that there were things there that were unburnable, like stainless steel mugs, closet racks, and all kind of metal things being burned in the fire pit. There was quite a few items in there. It was sort of smoldering, and I believe I went up there the next day and all of those items were gone. Even the ashes were cleaned out. The warrants also revealed that Diana paid a priest in Moldova a combined $4,000 in the weeks after Madalina's disappearance, before and after talking with him by phone for more than 10 minutes. During the trial for Chris, the Cornelius police detective Gina Patterson testified that Western Union money was sent to Diana Kojokari's mother and a priest in Moldova. A State Bureau of Investigation warrants shows investigators seized a phone in late December 2022. An analysis of that device identified a Discord account with 37 unread messages, the warrants said. Investigators believe this account belongs to the missing minor child and that the same warrant filed in January 2023 noticed noted that the investigation uh, involves the believed sexual exploitation of a minor child victim. Yeah, so I think that there's more because these warrants that you sent me are from December 15th, 2022. And so there should be another warrant that they must have unsealed from January 2023. So it says Discord is a voice, video, and chat app that is popular among video games peoples and among my members of this channel. If you guys want to join Discord, become a channel member and we will invite you in. That's where all the cool things happen. Anyways, so after 2023, a NBC report found child predators also using Discord to groom victims and trade child sexual exploitation material. Madalina Cojocari was last seen on November 21st, 2022, and a video showed the then 11-year-old getting off of her school bus. Her parents didn't report her missing until December 13th, this says, which it should actually be the 15th, I believe. Yeah, December 15th is when they actually reported her missing. So this article is incorrect. But it was still 3 weeks after she was last seen. It says Homeland Security investigators confirmed that Diana Kojokari was out of the country last September and is still not known when she left the U.S. She was officially named a suspect in her daughter's disappearance for the first time last July. She was released from jail in May of 2024, one day after pleading guilty to failing to report her daughter's disappearance. Our system is so screwed up with all of this. Okay, thank you, Seal. Hi, Lioness. Yeah, she's trying to erase. So this makes me wonder, though, the fact that she sent the money to the priest, the $4,000 to the priest and to her mom and things like that, um, around the time that Madalina was last seen. I wish I knew what type of priest it was, right? Because I don't want to speculate that she could have caused her physical harm. I don't want to speculate. But then, with all of the crazy things that she was doing, with the stuff she was burning, the fact that she took the ashes and everything away out of that burn pit, really makes you question, could she have done some type of religious sacrificial type situation? I hate to even think about that. Could she have done some type of religious thing to Madalina and then started to get rid of the evidence of that? What was the $4,000 payment to the priest for? Did he do some type of prayer or some type of incantation or chant or something along those lines for her after whatever type of religious thing she could have done to Madalina? You look back to that picture that I pulled up at the beginning of the live where she said happy birthday to her, not on her birthday. I mean, this was not her birthday. It says compassion entangled on earth. Compassion entangled on earth, pure happiness. Did she show her compassion during some type of religious thing? I hate to even think like that. I still want to hold it in my heart and believe that Madalina is out there somewhere and that we have the possibility to find her safe and alive. But the more you read this stuff, the more it starts to really raise up red flags that something way more nefarious could have possibly happened to Madalina. That's yeah, so bizarre. It is. And sadly, I think it is a good possibility, and that's extremely disturbing. Extremely, extremely disturbing. I want to believe that she is out there somewhere and that she is findable. And if not, if she did do something more nefarious and now she was able to just leave the country, like our laws are so just loose that we allow these monsters to just walk away, to just live her best life somewhere in Moldova, that's not okay with me. Like, where is your daughter, Diana? Where is she? What did you do to your daughter? Where did you put her if you didn't do something to her? Says as of now, Diana is free and clear on any charges. However, Cornelius Police told WCNC Charlotte that everything is still on the table. We want to hold our resolution to this case early on, like everyone in this community. We have stayed the course. We always said from the very start that our goal is to find Madalina, and we're not going to stop until we do. This goes down through the timeline. Let me see if I can find. So here is another video. This one is from back in July. This is whenever the warrants came out saying that she could have possibly been sold at that point. And this was all information that we've seen throughout Chris's trial.
Theorized that the little girl was sold for cash. Then 11-year-old Madalina was last seen getting off of her school bus in Cornelius late last year. Her mother and stepfather are in jail for failing to report her.
The main religion in Moldova is Orthodox Christianity. Like 90% of the population identify as Orthodox. Yes. Yeah, they have priest, right? So with what Chris described during his trial and what has been seen on like her Facebook pages and things like that, it is not Orthodox Christian. Um, it's just not. And so mm, I don't know if I can actually find the actual religion name. If anybody in the chat knows what religion she was allegedly practicing, please let me know. And and I will go from there.
Her disappearance. Channel 9's Hunter Sines has been covering this case since the beginning and spent the entire day pouring through these troubling warrants. Hunter?
Yeah, Erica, much of these 21 warrants have been sealed for the past several months. It's left many to wonder what's the latest in this investigation. But as you said, today we got our hands on these warrants, and there are several new revelations, including a possible new sighting of Madalina Cojocari. For months, the Cornelius community has wondered what happened to Madalina Cojocari. This was the last time she was seen on a school bus in November of last year. Police say her mother, Diana Cojocari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmer, didn't report her missing until 3 weeks later, on December 15th. But weeks before, the newly unsealed warrants say Diana was spotted getting her oil changed in Hickory. The attendant told investigators while children's toys were inside the car, no child was present. Search warrants also reveal a new possible sighting of Madalina in Sugar Mountain. Investigators believe she may have been there with another relative, who Channel 9 previously learned was interviewed by detectives. A warrant from February says he told investigators Diana asked him if he would help with smuggling her and Madalina away from their Cornelius home. The newly unsealed search warrants also say that during a recorded phone call between Diana Cojocari and her mother, they talked about a bag of money, withdrawing cash, in a theory that Christopher Palmer gave Madalina away for money. In another warrant, we learned a DEA task force officer got Christopher Palmer to be housed with a confidential informant while in jail. That informant then told authorities Palmer was often writing in his journal and told him he's remembering the events regarding Madalina and was writing the recalled events down. And investigators were able to take several pieces of paper from Palmer's jail cell. Now, at this hour, both Diana Cojocari and Christopher Palmer still remain in the Mecklenburg County Jail just across the street from where we're at. But so far, there is no sign of Madalina Cojocari. Live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse, Hunter Sines, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
I know they won't stop looking for her. Hunter, thank you. And for months, Channel 9 has been following every development in the search for Madalina. We have a complete timeline of the case on our free WSOC News app. There you'll also get updates as soon as we learn them.
Homeschooling can foundationally and wonderfully change families and the lives of children. That is why we work so hard.
Goodness, scared me. Did Diana work? Where did she get 4,000 to send a priest? I don't know. Yeah, you remember pulling it up on YouTube, but you don't remember the woman offhand. I agree. Yeah, they should have made her produce Madalina first, just like they did with Valo. I agree with that. 100%. This entire situation, the entire case is just extremely, extremely frustrating. And actually, one of the things that um, that I'm seeing also is the sexual exploitation side of things that they're looking at. There was actually multimedia messages between Diana and a man who has since unalived himself because he was connected to sexual crimes. And he did actually unalive himself after being convicted after a phone call with his lawyer. And so why was Diana texting with this man allegedly? Um, and so that's a concerning situation too. But until I have the full document, I don't want to read just bits and pieces of that full document with you. Um, CL is actually actively working behind the scenes right now to get me the rest of the documents, which is perfectly fine because we're already at 1 hour. So we do have more documents to read, and we will do that tomorrow. So if you guys are not subscribed, like, share, all of those things, please make sure that you join in with us tomorrow, and we will go down through the rest of the documents to go through some more of this information so that we can try to get some insight into what could have possibly happened to Madalina. She needs to be found. We need to see what the heck happened to her. I know police are looking and searching. The only thing that we can do as the public is to consistently try to keep her name into the news cycle and on social media platforms, anywhere that we possibly can think of. Make sure that we are sharing her face and her picture, which let me pull back up her flyers so that you guys can see it again if you did not see it in the beginning, because it's just so important that if she is out there somewhere, that if she has the ability to be found, that people know what she looks like so that they are able to find her. You can't recognize someone if you've never seen their face. You cannot know who to look for if you have never seen her before. And so it's so important. I will share her photo and her flyers again to my community wall as well, um, so that you guys can get a good look. This is probably a better one to pull up right now, which is not available, of course, because it does show a picture of Diana and the vehicle as well. Let me see if I can see another one real quick that shows Diana and the vehicle. Here's Diana. So let's pull this one up. Is this page going to be openable? Here we go. Here's a great one with all of the things. So let's share this. I will share this flyer to my Facebook, to my YouTube, and to my Twitter for those of you guys who want to reshare it. I'll also post it in the Discord. There is a $25,000 reward for any information leading to finding Madalina or an arrest in her disappearance. Please, 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 you guys, make sure that you are putting her face out there. This is one of those cases. We are going to keep coming back to her case until she is located. This is just one of those stories that has captured my heart since the first day that we've seen it, and we're just going to keep following up. So I appreciate you all. Thank you all for taking the time to be here and listen to my talking, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Love you all. Bye.